So in chapter 15, we were to explain the concept of leadership. And one of the ways to do that was to differentiate between management and leadership. So management is basically when you have the role of controlling an individual or a group of people, right, in order to achieve certain specific goals or objectives that happen over time. Leadership, on the other hand, is about the ability of a person to influence, motivate, and sort of enable those people that they are managing to contribute to the success of what's going on. So that's sort of the difference between what leadership is versus what management is. There are 4 approaches to contemporary leadership that I would talk about, but there are different qualities for managers and leaders, but a good manager will have both manager qualities and leadership qualities. Rational quality for a manager, for example, and sort of visionary for leadership. So there's 4 approaches to contemporary leadership. You have your level 5 leadership, servant, authentic, and interactive. So basically level 5 leadership is all about being as human as possible, being modest, the lack of ego type thing, and then that's how you're going to lead your people. You're going to take responsibility for your failures. That's what it's all about. It's about being human and doing what's best. Your goal is to do what's best, putting your stuff aside and doing what's best. Servant leadership. It's basically self-interest to serve others. So you have the desire to serve others. That's what you're there for. The organization, the society, whatever it is. They give away power, ideas, information, and the big thing with that is they give their credit away too, and money as well. So that's basically sort of what that is. Authentic leadership draws on a leader's self-awareness, self-regulation, and alignment of words and actions towards followers to inspire trust. The authentic leadership basically puts a big emphasis on individual sort of and personal relationships, supporting each other, and standing up for what you believe in. And then you have interactive leadership. Interactive leadership favors a consensual and collaborative process. So this is basically doesn't necessarily is less focused on sort of the levels of power within an organization and more of a let's do this together type thing. There's a process, people are involved, again sort of derived from relationships rather than formal authority and position power. 2 dimensions of leadership. You have task-oriented, and then you have people-oriented. So task-oriented would be sort of sort of more focused on getting a task done. Sort of focuses, on the big things that you need to do, meeting schedules, cost management, stuff like that. Less concerned with goal achievement and human needs. They want to direct subordinate work activities towards goal attainment. People-oriented is more of again, getting people involved, working on those relationships with people. That's sort of the human needs side of it. Catering to people, listening, hearing what they need, what they want, stuff like that. Trait theory. If I can find it. Trait theory. All right, well, we'll do charismatic leadership. Sort of charismatic transformation. Sort of what we have is articulating a clear sort of vision, and providing inspirational motivation to stimulate people. Transactional leadership and transformational leadership. Basically, this is so transformational is individuals distinguished by their special ability to bring about innovation and change by creating an inspiring vision, shaping values. So sort of like creating like an environment that the change that needs to happen, and creating like a wholesome area for people and providing meaning for people. Transactional is individuals who clarify the role, task, and requirements of subordinates. So basically, you're telling these people what to do, you're providing the clear for them, and you're rewarding them for what they need to do. You provide appropriate awards. You don't go like crazy with it, but you don't do too little either. You have a lot of structure there. And then situational leadership. Basically, situational leadership is basically sort of choosing the right type of leadership, like what I talked about before, and using it for different situations, because not all situations are going to require that same type of leadership. So it's knowing when to choose and pick those types of leaderships. That's big for a manager because, like I said, each situation's different. Each person is going to be different, how to deal with that. So that's one big thing. Explain the concept of power. Power is basically the ability to influence or have the influence on someone's behavior, thoughts, emotions, stuff like that. That's what power is. There are 5 types of power. You have legitimate power. This comes from like a formal position, like if you have a boss or something, they have legitimate power over you to tell you what to do. Reward power is power that sort of results from the authority to bestow rewards. So you have the power to give those types of rewards. Sometimes not everyone is going to have that type of power. Then you have coercive power, stems from the authority to punish or recommend punishment. So sort of the opposite of what reward power is. You have the ability to take necessary actions that are required. Sometimes they'll have teams that will do that. And then expert power that results from a leader's special knowledge or skill in a task performed by subordinates. And then referent power results from characteristics that command subordinates' identification with respect and admiration for and desire to emulate the leader. All this relates to the concept of authority as well. Basically because there are different elements that come into play, You have different types of power, but you have the authority to delegate that power. That's basically it, I think.